Alright, we are back here for some Let's Play Demon Souls. This is QuadKiter, and where we left off last, we just took out the Armored Spider boss in 2-1, and so I think it might be a good idea to... Let's go ahead and do 4-1. 4-1 is called the Shrine of Storms, and this area of the game is inhabited by a bunch of skeletons and like these flying manta rays. It's a little more difficult zone of the game compared to 2-1, but it also provides, this is probably one of the first areas you can go to farm souls, as the skeletons give a decent amount, and you can do a good loop of them in the level. And return and warp back out to reset them. But this is like this obviously the Shrine of Storms, but it's it's like up in the air, kinda like the cloud world. You can see. I'll show you up ahead a little bit, but it has these skeletons that roll at you, and they do. They have like a proximity thorns damage as they're rolling on you that can interrupt your attacks. But as long as you come here with a shield, or I'm just gonna block with my weapon, shouldn't be. You should just be aware that if you get more than one at a time, you can quickly become overwhelmed. I almost have enough damage to kill them in one hit. There's a couple of skeleton archers as well. That guy has slightly less hit points. He was taken out in one hit, but you can easily fall off the edge here if you're not too careful. There are a couple areas further in the level that are more dangerous, narrower passages. Narrower. But if you have the thief's ring on here, you can make sure that most of the time they'll only come single file. And these guys also, they drop blade stone and soul remains. Blade stones are the ores that are used for dexterity builds, because they give the I guess it's sharp prefix. I'll have to, for some reason that it escapes me exactly what prefix that is. But I had a little bit difficulty mixing my last video file. The sound of the game was much higher compared to my audio for the recording of my voice, so the video that I uploaded, I actually had to remix it. And then here we have the Vanguard, which was in the tutorial, but now he's here. You can get revenge on him in case he took you out. I choose not to fight him out in the open right here. If you have a thief's ring on and some magic, you can actually take him out from range. But this area also has some arrow traps, which activate when you step on these little ground plates. Not too damaging, but something to be aware of. And then over here you actually have a black skeleton that dual wields katana blades. But he's very susceptible to my magical damage. And also here you have a crescent falcon. Crescent is the prefix for a magical based weapon, but it also provides mana regeneration. So if you're going for a magical build, it's a good idea to come here first, get that weapon, and then you can very much in the same way I use the Blessed Mace in 5.1 to make use of the stat you're boosting earlier in your build. A couple more skeletons up here. When they do that long animation, you have time to back up. Otherwise, you can just kind of sidestep them. The soul remains that they drop, you actually throw them, and they create a little one-hit distraction, and you can use them to lure enemies out of position. I'm actually going to use that technique later in the level. Here's a key on a corpse, and then an arrow trap, easily avoidable. But up in the air, you have these flying manta rays, and they can be quite annoying. If you don't have any ranged way to take them out, you just have to do your best to keep moving here. You can see them further out. We'll get a better look at them later on. See, I totally ate that full hit from his build-up. Broke all of my endurance from my guard. But plenty of skeletons to farm here if you're new to the game. They have decent soul returns. There's actually, if you're going for a bow build, there's a compound longbow right here. That's you can upgrade with the Spider Stone from World 2.1 and build a dexterity-based bow weapon. And so you can go back down here, and actually there's a hidden passage right here. It looks like there's a stairwell that goes nowhere. But if you hit the wall, you find out it's illusionary. And then right here at this T section, there's actually two skeletons. With my overhand attack, I just took both of them out at the same time. Yeah, if you come here early, you definitely want to have a shield because they will recoil upon hitting you, at least on their minor attack. And then with that key I picked up earlier in the level, you can open up this cell, and there's a new NPC in here.
Whew, you saved me. Heavens, I can't believe I fell for that trap. I suppose I owe you now. I'm Grave Robber Blige. As thanks, I can provide you with useful goods. Who couldn't do with a little help down in these parts?
So he sells a couple of different items. He sells sticky white stuff. Pretty expensive. I probably wouldn't buy it. But he also sells cloudstone. Cloudstone is an ore that drops off those flying manta rays, and it's used to enhance the shields with a magic resistance stat line.
Nothing suits your fancy? Well, don't be too frugal. A bit of indulgence goes a long way.
That's good. He has some leather armor on there. Nothing too fantastic. But here, if you continue down the opposite end of the passageway, there's another fake wall, and then an arrow trap. If you just stand along the side of the passageways, those things can't really hit you. And here we come up on the back side of the vanguard, so you don't even, if you go this way, you don't even have to attack them. The Uchi Katana is the katana in the game that you can upgrade with various stat lines. If I'm doing a different build, like a magic build, it's cool to make a magic-based Uchi Katana Or you can also do the dexterity baseline for them as well. Very popular. People have a hard time farming the Bladestones though, since some of the pure Bladestone is a pretty rare drop. These are the flying manta rays. But actually what I'm going to do here, before going on the fog gate, I'm going to go ahead and take out the Vanguard. Now if you don't have a very good weapon, one technique to do is with the Thief's Ring, you can get a couple of hits on him and then go ahead and do your hits and then run back, and he'll reset to his original position. And he's already taken out. If you hug pretty close to him on his weapon side, you can just roll underneath his strikes. That's typically what I do. And just like that, you open up an easy way to get back to this area. No more Vanguard for the rest of the game. And then right here you have another black skeleton katana wielder. Now he can do a lot of damage. Once you have the timing down, ooh, almost got it right there, but you can roll past him when he does that slice attack. And then here you get the Adjudicator shield. Now what that is it's not so much a shield you use for defense, but the shield provides a passive regeneration buff. It's very good for a faith build or any build in general. And I will probably end up using that in my offhand, but maintain using my Moonlight weapon, because you still, even if you're not wielding the shield but just have it equipped to your left hand, you will still get the passive regeneration buff. Few items up here to get. You can actually skip some of the level by rolling off this in the correct alignment. Pretty difficult maneuver. I'm not going to do it here, but if you have, it's something to consider if you're having trouble getting past the passageway in the next segment. There's some cliffs and there's some pretty brutal skeletons that hinder your progression. So right here there's another floor tile. That's the easiest way to avoid it. And then some more souls. And then right up here there's another item. Renowned Hero Soul. So this is where it gets a little tricky, because you're going to have those manta rays firing their stingers at you as you're going on these narrow passages. So that one just stuck me right there. And then you get to meet a new enemy. It's a skeleton that is wielding a large two-hander. Very susceptible to magic damage. As long as, if you're locking on, try not to do too many rolls, because it's very easy to roll off the edge here while locked on. Let me just, I'm going to take this guy out, and that'll be it for this video. Alright, and in the next video we're going to continue on with the rest of this level.